This shiur is Refuat Shema Moravi Vateret Roshi Rahamim Ben Frida, and Bezat Hashem we'll see Refuat Shema. Amen.
Amen.
So, in this week's Prshat Shemiini, it talks about what's kosher and what's not kosher. It says what's kosher, what could you eat, what could you not eat, and so on. In Bezat Hashem today, we'll learn the severity of what it means to eat kosher and what's not. Like, what's the severity of eating kosher and not kosher? That's what we'll discuss today. Just for an introduction. So, one of the proofs that the Torah is from Hashem is from this week's Prshat, when it talks about kosher animals. Because we know that there are two signs for an animal to be kosher. One, it has to chew its cud. Two, it has to have split hooves. So those are the two signs the Torah says. If it doesn't have those two signs, it's not kosher. If it has those two signs, it's kosher. But the question would be, if the Torah didn't tell us, what if there was only one of the two signs? What if you either only chewed its cud but didn't have split hooves, or it had split hooves but didn't chew its cud? So would that be kosher or not kosher? And the Torah tells us it's not kosher. But now, the Torah didn't just say it's not kosher. It went into details into which animals have these things. For example, they gave the Hazir, the pig. The pig, it has split hooves, but it doesn't chew its cud. And then they have the camel. It chews its cud, but doesn't have split hooves. And also the rabbit or the hare, also they gave the hyrax, which is just a type of rabbit almost. It's like kind of looks like a hamster, but like those are the things the Torah mentions. And the way that this is a proof that the Torah can only be written by Hashem is because since really, like, all the time animals are mixing with other species and they get mixed up, and then new species come out of them, and from that we see that there's different types of animals, and they could come out different colors, all these different types of things. Every day we have new species. So how could it be that out of all time, all these animals are mixing together, and they still, not one animal in the entire history, no pig was found to either to chew its cud and not have split hooves, or had both of the signs, or didn't have any of the signs, or any of the other animals that the Torah listed, as I said. All of them had what the Torah says it has, because sometimes it's supposed to come out differently, and only the Creator of the world would know such a thing. Because a normal human being can't just say things, because he doesn't know the future, but Hashem does know the future. So that's the point. So that's just showing that that's the proof of the Torah. Now, getting back to what I wanted to talk about. This shows severity to kosher, non-kosher foods. If Hashem chose specifically for kosher and non-kosher animals to be a proof that the Torah is real, that means there's something important that we should know. Because Hashem could have used anything else as a proof in the Torah. Of course, there are more proofs, but one of the proofs is this, so it means there's something special. And now the question lies, what's so severe about it? Isn't it just a regular law to say you can't eat non-kosher food? So, Bezat Hashem will cover that today. We'll see what's the severity. But first, I'd like to talk about a midrash, a very mysterious midrash. It says, in the times of Mashiach, Hazir, pig, is going to be kosher. You're going to be allowed to eat it. Now, obvious question is, we know there's a thing in the Torah. It cannot change one word, one letter. As we've seen in Sefer Torah, if you change one letter, one word, or even to add or take away or change your letter, it's not kosher. It's pasul Sefer Torah. And you're telling me now that the Torah is going to change. If the Torah says you can't eat pig, it means it stays forever. It's not going to change at all. You can't come and say soon it's going to change and you're going to be allowed to eat Hazir. It doesn't work like that. When the Torah says something, it means it always applies. So the question is, how could you say such a thing, that in the times of Mashiach, pig, you're going to be allowed to eat pig? That's the question that Hazal is all bothered with. How could it be? So, a simple answer, some rabbis say, is that this midrash is not it's not going to happen. Because not every midrash is not. It's something that maybe happen. It's not 100%. So maybe this midrash also is not maybe 100% true. So it could be that that's what it is. So that's just the simple answer if you say no. What about the rabbis who say that this rule does apply, that we do, that the Hazir will become kosher in the times of Mashiach? So how do they answer that question? So, to start off, so the simplest answer they give is that in the times of Mashiach, a pig, there's going to be like a new species of pig it's going to be kosher. It's going to have split hooves and it's going to chew its cud. It's going to be a tahor animal and you'll be allowed to eat it. It's going to be kosher pork. So that's the simplest answer that we give. But there's another answer. Hazir doesn't refer to a pig. The Gemara tells us every animal that's not kosher has an animal that's kosher that tastes exactly like the non-kosher animal. Meaning that let's say you take something, it's not kosher. There's a kosher animal that tastes exactly like the non-kosher meat. So one example Gemara gives is blood. We know we're not allowed to drink blood. Blood you can't. You're not allowed to. So, but there's something that tastes exactly like blood that's kosher. What is it? Liver. Liver tastes exactly like blood, but it's kosher. You're allowed to eat it. So that's the example. And that obviously means also pig, hazir, pork, there has to be something that's kosher about it. And obviously the question is, what's that kosher animal that's gonna be that tastes exactly like pig? And that's the question. And the answer is that there's a certain type of fish that if you eat it, its brain, it tastes exactly like pig. However, this pig we don't have today. We're going to get it back in the times of Mashiach, and this is what it means that we're going to get Hazir back. We're going to get the taste of it back. And I could ask, what happened to it? Why don't we have this fish today? What happened to it? So the answer is when the Jews left Mitzrayim, all the animals followed. They followed the Jews. They also left Mitzrayim with them. But this fish, these types of fish, they couldn't leave Mitzrayim. They were too weak. So they stayed behind and they somehow got lost or something. So that's why we don't have them today. But when Mashiach comes, B'ezrat Hashem, then we're going to have this fish back and we're going to get the taste of pork back. That's another explanation onto what this midrash refers to. And there's also another answer. And the other answer is what does Hazir refer to? What does a pig refer to? It doesn't refer to actual pig. Again, it refers to Esav, Edom, who's compared to Hazir, pig. Edom is compared to Hazir. So now I can ask, obviously. Wait, before that, so basically, in the times of Mashiach, Edom, Esav, we will have peace with Esav and Edom. They'll treat us nicely. They'll give us our respects. So basically, yeah, in the times of Mashiach, we're gonna have Esav is they're gonna like us, and they're gonna be friendly with us in the times of Mashiach. That's another answer. Now, there's a question that's bothering us over here. Let's understand why do we compare Esav to Hazir? What's the connection? Why do you call Esav a pig? Why? So the answer is because a pig, just like a pig has split hooves. It shows it's kosher. Oh, I'm kosher, eat me. But really, it's not kosher. It doesn't chew its cud. Same way, also Esav does this. They say, come, I'm kosher or good. But really, they're not kosher. Now I want to explain this. So, there's two ways that can get someone to sin or to do what you want. There's two ways it could be accomplished. One, you could do it the way that Ishmael does it. The Arabs, that's how they do it. This is how they do it. They put fear onto you. They just force you. They put a gun to your head. If you don't do it, you're done. Meaning that it's done out of fear. You're scared. You'd rather do what this person tells you to do rather than die or whatever the consequence may be. So that's one way you can get someone to do something. But the other way you can get someone to do something is the way like Edom, Esav. What do? They come, they be friendly with you. Come. And then after some time, they brainwash you and they get you into all this nonsense. So what does this mean? Meaning that once you first meet somewhere. Let's say you go to the park or something. You meet this guy. He's playing. You meet this guy who plays basketball. You say, hey, can I play basketball with you? You say, okay, no problem. So you play a basketball game with him. You finish it. You say, hey, that was a good game. Then you come the next day at the park. You see him again. He says, hey, you want to become friends and everything? He says, yeah, and everything, yeah. Okay, fine. So you go, you continue to play basketball, and you get closer and closer and closer to him. And what happens in the end? Then you just go, then you come tell you, oh, come, I want to show you, like, you want to come with me to certain places, this and this place. And then you see what he actually does in his life, and then you copy him. You follow what he does. You keep one from keeping halal, say, hey, then you go, okay, no problem, no, eat OUD, it's fine, it's kosher. So you're like, no, first, then they finally get convinced to do it, and then after some time you actually go to fully becoming a secular person. You eat non kosher, you don't keep Shabbat anymore, and so on. And it all started because you had this friendship and this relationship with this goy who's being friendly with you. So, basically, the problem is that this is how friends work. And it's always like this. Go to someone who has you're good friends with. If you ask him, like you say, let's say you were to say that you like a certain thing, you like a certain drink, you like a certain food. He's most likely to agree to you as much as possible. Because friends usually have things in common. This guy likes the one thing, the other guy likes the other thing. They both like, friends like to have things in common. They like to agree with each other. So if you say, I like this thing, even though this guy maybe not, doesn't really like it that much, tries to push it to like the positive side, the side. Oh, I actually, I kind of do, whatever, like it. So basically, what happens is that that's how friendship goes. You agree. A friendship means you like what the other person does. That's how you whatever. That's how you do it. So when you have now you're talking about a boy over here. This guy is at first you're not gonna say, okay, well, it's against the Torah and everything. Says no, it's good. I mean, but now that you're friends with him, you don't want to say no to him. So then what happens in the end is you come with him, and then it just completely destroys your life. And this is what we're talking about over here. So Esav, what they do, they say, come. I'm kosher. You could come. Let's be friends. I'm not anyone wrong. I'm nothing bad. But then they get you to do what they want you to do, by being friendly with you. And the other way, as Ishmael do it, the only difference is that Esav takes more time, because sometimes it takes some time to get into friends and everything. But this could happen by the Ishmael way, just 1, 2, 3, do it in whatever. Now, which one's worse? Which way would you say is worse? To do it the Ishmael way, go on to put a gun to his head to make him listen. Which one's a bigger avirah? What's the bigger avirah? Either put a gun to his head, fear him, or put him with fear, or to make him happy and everything. Which one's the bigger avirah? And the obvious answer is the way of Esav. Now, why? Because when you have someone who convinces you to do right, it's like you're not even forced to do it. It's your choice. You're like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. On the other hand, with being forced to do it, first of all, you could say I'm honest. It's not in my control that someone's gonna come and put a gun to my head. Like, I really wouldn't want to do it, but I have to. So really, it's not my control. I really don't want to do it. So the punishment either way for that person is not even that great. It's not even a punishment really. How could you be punished for honest? And then another one. And so now back to this case. You're really the one who's agreeing, saying, "Okay, yeah, let's go. Let's do the sin." You're the one who, and not only that, he convinces you it's the right thing to do. That's the bigger problem. If someone to come over to you, let's say you see someone, he has a gun to his head. So then he asks you, he says, do you think what you're doing is the right thing to do? You tell you, no, I wish I didn't have to do it, but I have to because I have a gun to my head. I'd rather not die. So I want to stay alive. So this guy understands it's the wrong thing to do. But on the other hand, over here, what happens is he convinces you that's the right thing to do. And then you're going to think it's the right thing to do the rest of your life. Then someone else comes and asks you, is this the right thing to do? You say, yeah, for sure. And you give him some type of logic. And if there's a logic to it, that means that something, important. And it's not very good, because it could actually, you could convince him, say it's the right thing to do, but really it's not. For example, one time I gave an example that there's a person who's drowning, and you have tefillin on. Who do you save? Do you jump into the river to get the person out, but you're gonna ruin your tefillin, or do you do the other way? Do you save the person and get your tefillin destroyed? So which one do you do? Tefillin, you don't save the person, but you don't get your tefillin ruined and destroyed, or do you not? Or do you save the person and get your tefillin ruined? If you're both ways, you can understand it has logic to it. So and fools would say, keep the tefillin. Why save a person? Tefillin is very holy. It's holier than a person. So why save it? But it's pikuach nefesh. You're supposed to save the person. because there's only 3 exceptions. You can't just do that. So basically, the point is that really you're supposed to. You can give logic to him. You say to him, "Hey, it's the right thing to do. Go do this thing." In the end of the day, really, it's not at all the right thing to do. He gets convinced the wrong way, and you mess up his whole life. And he's gonna go on to convince other people and everyone else. And it's on the zehut of that person will convince you, and so on and so forth. So you see now how that's the reason why we can't be too friendly with bad people. We can't be friendly with these types of people, because if we get too close to them and what they do in their lifestyle, we're gonna end up coming into this. For example, I'll give you an example of what I mean. What really happens is, if once you're in the dirt, you don't realize you're in the dirt. That's the whole point. So meaning, if you were to, for example, let's say you go to the bathroom, you're using the bathroom and everything. So now really you're in the bathroom. So really, you don't really it doesn't bother you the smell, your bad smell of your waste you make. It's not really bothering you. It's not annoying. It's not really any big deal. But what if you were to tell them to come out for 1 minute, 2 minutes, and come back inside? What will happen? He comes back, and he says, "It smells so bad. What is this?" And that's what happens in the end. That's what I'm talking about over here. You're not going to realize what's right and what's wrong. He's not going to realize that he's in the dirt. He thinks it's not really such a big deal. That's all the Reshaim. Once you're in dirt, you're sinning all the time. You're into this nonsense, so you don't realize it really that much. But if you're a Sadiq, you sinned the first time, you for sure realize it. You say, "What am I doing? I'm doing so wrong and everything." But the point is that we can't get ourselves into this dirt and this nonsense. So that's the point over here. We have to make sure that we can't be too friendly with bad people, because it destroys us. And something also is very good to know, that really sometimes people think it's the right thing to tell a person that this thing that he's doing, something like certain avirot he doesn't know even exists. Say it's an avirah, yeah, you're not allowed to do it. In reality, that's not the case at all. It's in fact the opposite. If he's a person who's into this avirah, he doesn't know it's an avirah, he's actually doing the avirah. So you're supposed to tell him it's an avirah and everything, so he could stop. He realizes it's a sin. But what if let's say he doesn't do this a sin, but he doesn't know it exists also. He doesn't think it's an avirah at all. Not that he doesn't think it's an avirah. He thinks it doesn't exist. That's what. He doesn't even know it exists. So, point is, which one's the right one? So which one, whatever. So obviously, are you supposed to tell him or no, if he doesn't know? So if he doesn't know, but he really does, if he doesn't know that really it's supposed to be, he doesn't know if it's a bad thing, but he's doing it, then you're supposed to tell him for sure. If you know he's going to listen, you have the halakha is supposed to tell him. But if it's the other way around, he doesn't do it at all, but he doesn't know, and he doesn't know it even exists. That's the whole point. And then you're not supposed to tell him. If you tell him, then he's gonna know it's a sin. So he's gonna know there's another option. That's why by the religious people that they don't let their children or whatever get close, not even to know that it exists. So that they don't think there's another option. Because if they think there's another option, there's a chance that he's gonna sin. So you don't want to take a chance for that. If you really don't want that chance. If you take that chance, then you could ruin his whole life, and it'll be because of you. So really, the point is that we have to make sure that we always, in certain cases like this, we're not supposed to tell them that we can't tell them that these avirot work, because if we do, then they're going to try to figure out how to do it, or how it's done, or what's the process, and that just messes them up. So that's the point over here. So the bottom line is, we can't follow the ways of Esav, or really all the bad people. We're not supposed to become friendly with these types of people, because they're going to mess us up. So that's that. That's why Esav is called Hazir. Again, because that's how they do things for us. That's how they say they're kosher, and they're not kosher really. Now I want to ask you another question. Let's go to actual Hazir. Why is a Hazir called a Hazir? Why is a pig called a pig? Why is a pig called Hazir? Why? Because we know in Lashon HaKodesh, all the Hebrew words, they have there's a meaning for it. There's a reason why the Torah says it. So if that's the case, so what are we referring to over here by Hazir, a pig? Why is a pig called Hazir? That's the question. So the answer is that a pig, whenever he goes, so let's start with a normal person. A normal person or animal or whatever. You go, let's say your animal or a person is doing something wrong, so you kick him out. Say, don't come back. He maybe he's eating your food or something. So you kick him out. Say, don't come back. So what happens? Maybe he come back another time, maybe, and you eat his food again. So say, get out again. Third time, fourth time, fifth time. More, and depending on who you are, you're finally eventually say, okay, I'm not gonna be allowed back in. So why am I still here? Let me go find somewhere else to live. So what am I doing? So that's a normal person. They say, okay, after some time, what's the point? But a pig, Hazir, you'll find that every time you kick it out, come back. Kick it out, come back. And the one who's gonna be convinced to let him stay is you. Why? Because he's gonna be annoyed from the pig coming back every single time. It's like, I don't want this headache anymore that you keep on coming back. It's just so annoying. I'd rather you be eating my food or whatever than to have to keep on coming back and making me even more annoyed. So the point is, you see that the Hazir teaches us something very interesting. That we are supposed to, every time we have something, we're not supposed to give up on it. So meaning, like a Hazir, he always comes back. Every time the pig is coming back again and again and again. Even though there's almost no hope. It's like, how is it gonna end? So, but he still keeps on coming back. So that's really something that we could take with us. Because once we could take that, we'll apply it to a sin in general. When you do an avirah, you fall down once. You fall down twice, you keep on falling. Eventually, a person could just give up. Say, okay, I'm bad. Who am I? I'm a lost case. So what could I do? I'm just in this nonsense. Get into this depression, and then his whole life is destroyed because of that. All because when he keeps on sinning, in the end, he gives up. He thinks, no, I don't have any hope. What can I do? So, when a person does this, it's a real problem. Why? What's wrong with giving up? What's the problem with giving up in the Torah? The answer is, if you have someone, tell him now to go fly. Tell a person to fly. He'll laugh at you. You say, huh? Are you crazy? You know a person can't fly. Why do you even want to start that? Jump off the building so you could kill yourself? Why take a chance if you know it's 100% not happening? If you know 100% something's not gonna, if you know 100% something doesn't work, or something that's not possible, 100% is not possible, so why are you even attempting it? It doesn't make sense. If you know it's 100% not gonna happen, there's no way. So, what are you even wasting your time for? Why? Why waste your time? And that's over here also. When you give up, like, I'm 100% like, there's no way I could fix myself. I'm already so deep into this avon, there's nothing I could do. And that's the Satan's trick. The Satan does two things. It has two purposes. One is to, of course, make us do avirot. But the second thing is, you know what? To actually make us depressed and upset. Now, why does it matter if we're upset? After we sin, it makes us upset. Why? Why do we have to be upset after that? You don't need to be upset. Why? What happens through being upset? That's the question. And the answer is that causes you to give up. When you're depressed, oh, I can't fix myself, I'm so bad, who am I? In the end of the day, you collapse completely, and then you just say, I failed. There's no hope for me. There's no way I could fix myself. What do you want from me? So that's the Satan's trick. He gets us to sin first, and once we sin, the test is not over. He makes us depressed and upset at ourselves. And if we get too depressed over it, we focus our whole life on it, then you just collapse completely. Okay, there's no way to fix myself. What can I do? That's called giving up. It's basically saying, in your mind, I'm 100% sure that I can't fix this sin, which is totally wrong. Why? First of all, if Hashem put you in this world, and you're still alive, and you still have this test, it means that Hashem knows you could do it. It's not impossible. That's number one. And number two is that it's not the right thing to do. Just to give up like that, that's the whole point. There's just one thing really. You just give up. And that's what happens. There's no point of it if you're in this world. So now you could ask, if you're not supposed to be depressed or to be happy, what are you supposed to, or have some gava, what are you supposed to do? Because a lot of times the rabbis tell us, sometimes the rabbis tell us, realize you're nothing great. But on the other hand, it's something very interesting. Just realize who you are. That's a contradiction. There's two different things. Two opposite statements you're just saying right there. What do you want us to do? Do you want us to look at ourselves as nothing or something? What do you want us to do? That's the famous question. That's really a question we have to know and understand. So, to answer the question, we'll go back to last week's Parashat. Parashat Sav. It talks about, and a part of it talks about the Kohen Gadol, and its works, and korbanot and everything. But here's what it said. So the Torah says that a Kohen has to have make sure he has his Kohen outfit for working in the Mishkan. So you give him this outfit. But right after that, it says that he cleans the ashes in the same pasuk. Right after that, it says Kohen has to clean the ashes he has to clean the ashes. So now, it's obvious question. In the Torah, everything that's next to each other, there's a connection with it. So these are two opposite things. So what's going on over here? That's our question. And the answer is, you know what this teaches us? It teaches us that you have to have both. You both have to look at yourself as you're not really nothing great, but you also have to realize you're something. I mean, you're a Kohen, yes. That's what I was saying. Yes, you're a Kohen, you have a special level, but don't forget you're the ashes. Don't forget. Nothing great, you're nothing special. So don't look at yourself as something great. So this is what the Torah is teaching us. So you have not to have too much, not to look at yourself as too high, also not to look at yourself too low. Realize that you do some things good, but you also have things that you do bad. If you just look at everything negative you do, or you look at everything positive you do, everything I do good, both of these are wrong. Both the Satan's, this is the Satan's way of doing things. Look at everything you're doing wrong. You think you're doing the right thing, but really you're not. You're really getting yourself depressed, and you never ever want to fix yourself. And the same way it goes the other way around. You have a lot of gava. I have nothing to fix. I'm perfectly fine the way I am. And again, so that's also not true, because as long as you're in this world, you still have a tikkun. You still have something to fulfill. You have a purpose to fulfill. And therefore, Hashem would have took you out of the world if you're perfect and you fulfilled your purpose, but you didn't. So you're still in this world. So as long as you're in this world, you have nothing to brag about that you're good, because you don't know how much more you have to accomplish and to achieve. So that's the whole purpose over here. That's the whole point over here. So you can't look at yourself as something too great. You have to realize that you have to look at yourself as something, but again, you have to know that you do good things and bad things. You need something to keep your hope up. You have to say in your mind, just like I have these good deeds that I do, these mitzvot. Same way, I could overpower my Yetzer Hara and I could get rid of all the negative that I have. But if you only think you do negative, you have no positive, so how do you expect me to start with the positive? That's the whole point over here. And so, this is the answer to our this famous question that people ask. How come that the Torah, how come the rabbis say that there's two different opposite statements? You have to realize you're something and at the same time look at yourself as nothing. Because it's really a combination of both of them. So this is what it teaches, this is what really this teaches us over here. When we're talking about this is what it teaches us. So you're not supposed to give up. That's the whole point. You can't give up, or you also can't be like, oh, I'm so good. That's the whole point. So yeah, as I once said a story. I'll say quickly that there's a guy who saw a race that if you go up a whole 100-floor building. You run all the way to the top in the race. You get $1 billion, $1 million, whatever. So this guy wanted to join, so he joined the thing. So as at first 25 stairs, not really that big of a deal. Some people dropped out. They got too tired. First 25 floors or whatever. Then 50. And then half the people dropped out. 75, now there's starting to be very little people left. And then 80, 90, and things start getting close. So there's 2 people left, him and some other guy. So he keeps on running up the stairs. He gets to 94th floor. So he says, and he's getting really tired. He doesn't know if he could even go anymore. If he goes one more step, he'll faint and pass out. So what happened? He decided, let me go one more step. He went one more step, and he collapsed. He passed out. He gets up. He after some time gets up, and he sees that he's next to an elevator. So he crawls to the elevator, gets to the 100th floor, and then when he's coming out of the elevator, they see him, with the $1 billion check right there. So the point is, like, you're not supposed to give up on things. Be like a Hazir. Hazir, he always comes back again and again. He doesn't give up on everything he does. So this is what a Hazir teaches us, which you really learn from it. So yeah, that's one point. Now, let's go. Now that we're talking about the subject of kosher, might as well mention. So, right after the discussion of keeping kosher, right after it, like toward the end of the parasha, it says Ani Hashem Hama'aleh etchem Metusayim Yot Hashem Elohim, whatever. And it says, I am Hashem who elevated you from Mitzrayim. And Hazal's bothered with. Why didn't it say, like as it says in Shema, Ani Amunai Elohim Asher Oseti Echem Mitzrayim? Why did it say Hama'aleh etchem? Why did it say elevated? Why didn't it just say who took you from Mitzrayim? Why did it say Hama'aleh etchem? Why did it use this lashon? And Hazal teach us that this refers to that the reason that you were taken out of Mitzrayim was so that you could fulfill the 613 mitzvot. But now we're still bothered with the question. We see that there are other places in the Torah. The Torah could have said Hama'aleh etchem. For example, if you want to talk about, let's say, I don't know, Shabbat, it talks about Shabbat, say Ani Amunai, it says Hama'aleh etchem, whatever, I can understand. It says Hama'aleh etchem over there, because it's severe, it's a very holy thing. But now you're coming over here. We're talking about kosher, non-kosher. Just a regular little taseh. Okay, fine. Why do you say Hama'aleh etchem over here? Why don't you take at least the point of if you're referring to the 613 mitzvot, what I would suggest is to go actually to Shema also. Why? Because Shema, it talks about tzitzit also over there in that part. It says tzitzit, and we know tzitzit refers to the 613 mitzvot. How? Because tzitzit is the gematria. Tzitzit is 600, plus the strings and the knots in the strings, you get 13, which is 613. So I can understand if you're talking about the discussion of tzitzit and you want to tell everyone the reason you were taken out of Mitzrayim was to fulfill the 630 mitzvot, then I can understand over there. Over here, we're just talking kosher, non-kosher. What's the connection? Why do you say now, the reason why you were taken out of Mitzrayim was so you could fulfill the 630 mitzvot over here? So that's the question that we're bothered with. The answer is, when you hear this answer, you're probably not going to want to ever step a foot away from eating non-kosher. So, you never want to even get close to it. So, basically, when someone eats not kosher, this leads to all the avirot in the Torah. Someone just eats not kosher, no big deal. Really, he's ruining himself. Why? When someone eats this harif food, it's not good, it's not kosher. What he's really doing is he's also contaminating his soul. His neshama is making it all messed up and dirty, and it's not clean. And that causes you to make avirot in general. You're not going to be able to learn Torah, you're not going to be able to do anything. You're just going to be, all the time, you're just going to be considered doing avirot. really think you think you're feeding yourself by eating this non-kosher food. You think you're just eating it, okay, it's very good. But really, you're also, in a way, you're making your body full. Fine. But not only that, you think you are, but you're really making your neshama destroyed. You're destroying your neshama completely. That's what you're really doing. You're making all stains on it by eating this non-kosher. But not only that, also the physical, also the body itself. You're getting the blood. Blood comes from food, and you're making this non-kosher food be your blood. That's your blood, non-kosher food. So really, even if you do teshuvah, you still have this blood of non-kosher food in it. So yeah, so really, it's a big thing. As in Orchot Tzadikim, it says that one who eats non-kosher, it leads him to all these avirot, because it damages his soul. His neshama gets destroyed because of it. Because you're eating all this impure stuff. And it leads to all of the transgressing all of the mitzvot. Similarly, someone who's bitul Torah, he's taking it and saying, I don't want to learn Torah. Automatically, he drops in level completely, almost. Because without Torah, without just learning Torah, there's no way you're going to be able to make the right choices. All of a sudden, you can transgress all the 613 mitzvot. And they're obviously the reason for Torah is because you're learning about the 613 mitzvot. So it's just it's renewing your soul in a way, doing the right things. As if you hear a nice shiur or something, for a certain amount of time, you don't want to do any avirot. Like you're all say I'm not going to do it again. But of course, when the Satan leaves you, it doesn't leave you for forever. He leaves you for a certain amount of time, and he comes back. 2, 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever it may be, and then he comes back, and whatever. But if you don't keep on renewing this Torah, then the Satan's just going to control you, and then you mess up your life. Also here, with eating tarif, non-kosher food, then that's what happens also. You also ruin, it's like basically you're feeding yourself these wrong things. Just to give you an example, I'll give you a story. That one time, the Rambam used to, people used to send him letters about questions and everything. And he'll send them a letter back with an answer. One time, there was a guy. He sends him a letter. Sends Rambam a letter. He says, he said, that really I'm really bothered. I'm trying to get into the Torah. I'm trying to get to the sweetness of the Torah. I'm doing everything I can for a very long time. But still, I'm still doing avirot. I can't get no Torah into me. What's going on over here? Why can't I do anything? I'm trying to learn. I'm doing my best. Try to learn. It's supposed to help. You know what the Rambam tells him? Check your shohet. See if what you're eating is kosher. Now all of a sudden he's going, what? What is the connection with this? What I thought maybe something, maybe I'm not learning Torah hard enough or something. Why is he just saying check if you have kosher food? He makes sure that your shohet is he has yashamayim and everything. He makes kosher food. He's saying, and so he goes, he checks, and he haven't found out that was true what Rambam said. That the problem was he was eating non-kosher. Then he sends a letter to him. He says, wow, what a Navi you are. How did you know? How did you know that the problem was that I was eating non-kosher? He said, no, don't look at me as a Navi. I'm nothing great. The only reason I knew was because if you're putting your effort into Torah, there's no way that after such a long amount of time, you're still going to be into this, into your nonsense. So the way that you would still be able to, even though with all your efforts, is if you're eating non-kosher. So what you see from the story is that what does it, what non-kosher brings to you. You could try. If you're eating non-kosher, it just destroys you. Okay, don't worry, I'm gonna still learn Torah. It's not gonna happen. You eat non-kosher, it's not gonna happen. You're just gonna keep on falling to your trap again and again and again, as much as you want to change. Because that just damages your neshama, as I said. And this is what it means to eat that's what it means to eat non-kosher. So I'll give you another story. So one time, so there was a woman who made a nice honey buns taste very good. So she feeds it to her guests. And she was saying it's very good and everything. So they try and say, wow, it tastes very good. So one of the guys asked her, say, hey, I like that recipe of yours. It tastes very good. I like the recipe. So could you tell me the recipe, how you make the honey bun? I want to make it for myself in my house. Could you tell me the recipe and everything? So yeah, no problem. So she tells him all the recipes, writes it down, whatever. Here, all the recipe, this, that, okay, fine. And it goes to his house. He starts making this honey bun thing. He does exactly with what she wrote and what she told her. He told him. So he makes it after he tries it, and he says, "It's disgusting. What is this?" So now he goes to her and says, "Why you lied to me? You told me it's gonna taste. Why did you tell me the wrong ingredients? If you don't want to share your ingredients, then that's fine. If you don't want to tell me how you make it, but you don't have to lie to me. At least say that I didn't do nothing. I don't want to tell you. So why do you say that? That was like what? So why do you have to say that? Don't lie to me." So she said, "No, I told you everything. I told you all the ingredients correctly." So he said, "What did I do wrong? I followed everything you told me. So why isn't it tasting good?" So she says, "Let me go and see what you did in your kitchen." So she goes, and what does she see? That you left from the days before. You have leftovers in that pot, which also got mixed with all the other ingredients, which made it taste bad. Because you had all those leftovers and all those things, those also got mixed into the mixture, and that made it very bad. So what you see from the story is, so they say, "Oh, sometimes I'll keep kosher, sometimes not kosher." It's fine. You eat non-kosher, you destroy the whole mixture. You destroy the whole pot. You think, "Oh, I'm gonna go learn Torah, I'm gonna be good." You eat non-kosher, it destroys you. Even though you have the good, it destroys the good. That's the whole point. You have the pot, you have to clean it out first. Get all the mess out of it. Get all the non-kosher out. Not to leave it with the non-kosher. Say, "Okay, I'm going to eat kosher now, and I'm going to add the non-kosher things," and then you destroy everything. You destroy the whole taste, destroy everything. That's what happens. And this causes you to go the opposite direction that the Torah wants you to go in. Go in the wrong ways. Similarly, someone who makes any avirah, not just this avirah, he creates a shell around him that prevents things that prevents Torah and doing the right thing to come into him. Why? For one reason, of course, because the Satan wouldn't want someone that's on his side. There's Hashem's side and the Satan's side. Why would the Satan want to just let go of someone that's on his side, his team, so easily to go onto the other side? He's a very important person. He does so many things for me. He makes this guy non-religious. He makes this guy non-kosher, everything. So why do I want him to leave? So that's why, and of course, the deeper you are into the more of a rasha you are, the harder it is to do teshuvah. That's why you see Baal Teshuvah. You see these people. At first, it's very, very hard for them. At first, they say, "Oh, the Torah is not. I don't even like learning Torah. It's not even interesting. I want to go back to my lifestyle. I don't like this lifestyle. It's very hard or whatever." But after some time, they clean out that shell that's surrounding that tum'ah that surrounds them from this tower things to come in, and that's what happens. And then in the end, it becomes easy, and then they start to enjoy the Torah and everything, and so on and so forth. So the second reason is because if you have tameh and tahor, they don't mix. How can you have something, two opposite things don't go together? Someone who if you hate your friend, this guy likes this thing, and this guy likes that thing, you're not going to be able to do something together that's basically that matches together. These two things don't mix. That's the point over here. So really, when you're eating non-kosher and everything, or any sin, so what happens is you're destroying yourself. Look at a shop, someone who always does avirot and everything. You say, give him all these pleasures, all these things. He has money, he has songs, his music, his women, and all these types of things. He says, ask him, do you enjoy these things? He says, of course I enjoy them. They're amazing. Tell him to come learn Torah. Say, come, let's learn Torah. He comes, he learns Torah. He's all bored. He's like, this is nothing. I don't understand. I don't see the sweetness coming out of the Torah. What are you talking about? It's the biggest pleasure in the world. No. I'd rather do what I want, or what I'm doing before. But if you're someone that's a tzaddik, you're always used to learning Torah. You don't do avirot. Tell the guy come to do an avirah. If he does avirah, he's not gonna enjoy the avirah, because he knows what punishment he's gonna get. It's not worth it, so he's not gonna enjoy it. But he tastes the sweetness of the Torah. Once you get rid of all that tum'ah, then once you get rid of all that sins after a certain amount of time, then then what happens is you realize how sweet the Torah is. You realize that. So but if you're eating tameh, you eat non-kosher foods, then there's no way it's gonna happen. You're not gonna enjoy the Torah. You're not gonna follow the Torah, because you didn't clean your pot. You didn't get rid of this non-kosher. You're trying to mix all the other things with it, but it doesn't work. This is what it's teaching us. The Torah is teaching us that, you know why? It's compared to all the 613 mitzvot. The reason that I took you out of Mitzrayim was so that you could keep eating non-kosher. Don't eat non-kosher food. So you say, what? Why? Well, just a tiny motas. What's wrong with it? It leads to the whole doing everything. So really, it leads to all the avirot in the Torah. So really, it's basically like saying the reason that I took you out of Mitzrayim was so you could fulfill all the 613 mitzvot and not to get ruined and destroyed and destroy your neshama and keep all the 613 mitzvot. This is what this idea over here teaches us. So basically, we see from here the severity of just keeping non-kosher and just keeping kosher. Now, I don't think you even want to now even touch something that's OUD, which is possibly not kosher. Well, I'll take the time right now to discuss what exactly happened over there. Why is OUD really loud? Because really, originally, the halakha says you're not allowed to eat OUD. It has to be watched by a Jew. It has to be halal Yisrael milk. It can't be by some goy watching it. Or it has to be a Jew supervising it. If not, it's not kosher at all. But came Moshe Feinstein, he said that it's kosher, O-U-D. But now you have to understand why. So, really what happened is back then, so, it was very hard to get halal se'el, foods, so, it was really, really hard and everything, that, if you really wanted to probably have to go to Israel, it's not, like, here, like today, like you go anywhere, or every block, they have halal se'el stuff. That's not what we're talking about. Back then, there was no halal sale places anywhere. So they didn't know what to do. So they're not going to be able to eat dairy, basically. So what did Moshe Feinstein do? He said you're allowed to eat OUD. Why? Because the government is very strict on what the ingredients you put inside. Meaning that if you put the wrong ingredients, you make a lie, you write on the things, this is the ingredients we put inside. But that's not the right ingredients, they could take you to jail. It's not a joke. So the goyim we're gonna have some type of fear from the government and from all these things that they'll go to jail if they put the wrong ingredients. So they're gonna be very careful not to put the wrong ingredients. So that's why you were allowed to rely on this thing. But today we don't even need it really. First of all, because we have all over. We have kosher, we have halal sale places, and we don't need OUD. And second of all, it's questionable if Moshe Feinstein would say today because of this. Because maybe some say that he only said it because back then they really they had no other choice. But today we have choices everywhere. So why would you even want to take a chance to be eating non-kosher foods? Why would you want to get yourself in something that leads you to just being a total secular guy, someone who's a total rasha, someone who goes against every single thing in the Torah? What's the point? To take a chance for a pleasure of food. So this is what it's teaching us over here. You have to make sure we keep kosher. This way, we'll be purified and we'll be able to continue to follow Hashem's path. Bezat Hashem. Continue to follow the ways that Hashem wants us to follow and do things that Hashem wants us to do, and Bezat Hashem will always keep kosher, and we'll have the zechut to do all these things that make us good and learn Torah and everything.